everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to meet with us. We are so glad you're here. So, what is Best Friends? I mean, who are we? Just to give you some background knowledge about this amazing company, we started with two locations in 2011 in Schaumburg and in Arlington Heights. Fast forward to today, and we have over 150 locations spanning across the US, Canada, and the Middle East. We are the leading US based learning center franchise, and we pride ourselves in having the best quality in terms of curriculum and staff. Best Brains has over 1,000 certified teachers working worldwide to provide the best possible education. So, we know that a lot has changed in the past few months, and we've made some changes too. Best Brains has created an entire online ecosystem to better suit the needs of families today. So, now what does that look like actually for you as a parent? We are now offering e learning. Your child would have the opportunity to work with one of our certified teachers online and still get the same attention he or she would get from our classroom. Depending on where you live, our tutoring, depending on where you are tuning in from, some of our centers have reopened with updated safety precautions and protocols to ensure learning happens successfully. To help engage kids, we are offering free workbooks and downloads. Click on the links below to get access to those. We're also offering educational and fun YouTube videos with worksheets to continue your child's learning. Finally, there are many resources posted daily to our Facebook page here to help parents. You will find many blogs, tips, and tricks as you work to educate your child. We're taking all that is great about Best Friends and now offering it online as well as in our center. Before we go any further into explaining this program, I want to talk to you about or have you think about your goals for your children. What do you need for them? Where do you see your child 6 months from now? Think about that. That's after Thanksgiving break, right about early December. Where would you like to see your child 1 year from now? Thinking about a full school year from now, as they move forward into the next grade. Do you have any specific goals for your child's needs that you'd like to have them meet? Such as you want them to be prepared for third grade, or you want them to be prepared for middle school or high school? Is your child meeting expectations in school, or are they falling behind, or are they exceeding? Listen, we want to make sure that this temporary interruption in learning does not have a lasting impact on your child's education. So maybe you might be asking, well, what can Best Friends do specifically to help us? Let me tell you about Best Friends. So we offer 4 core subjects: math, English, Abacus, and general knowledge. To get started, your child will take a diagnostic test in both math and English to see where they place in the program. Now, this can be done online, in person, or on Zoom, depending upon the subjects that they choose. Your child will come to class for 1 to 2 hours per week. 1 hour will be for math and English, and 1 hour for Abacus. Now, all of our teachers are state and Providence board certified, and we maintain a low student to teacher ratio. The best part is that our program is tailored to your child's needs. Each child is given direct attention and direct teaching. Let's take a look at our methodology. So at Best Brains, we follow the teach, perceive, practice, perfect methodology. Now, this means that when the student comes to class, he sits with one of our certified teachers who will be teaching the concepts of the week. He will then perceive and understand the material and the concept. Next, he will practice the concepts in front of the teacher. And finally, he will perfect those concepts through his daily homework. Now, the best part is that the teacher will be working with your child individually to ensure that they understand the concepts before they leave the classroom. Now, let's get into our math curriculum. Our math curriculum is very practical and visual. We want students to understand the concepts rather than just learning through competition or repetition, We ask our students to learn by seeing both visually and conceptually. So students are not only learning how to complete computations, but they're also learning how to use diagrams and pictures to solve these problems. Most importantly, they learn how to tackle critical thinking problems, such as word problems and logic puzzles. Now, as you can see on the screen, here's an example of one of our math booklets. You can see that the same concepts are asked in multiple ways, multiple formats, to ensure that the student truly understands the foundational skill. Repetition, that's not our game. Each week, there will be 2 concepts taught in math, one computational and one that's non-computational. Those non-computational concepts are like word problems, multiple choice questions, and higher level thinking problems. Now, we have, this is designed to keep your child engaged and interested. I've often heard that many of our students just love doing their best friend's work. Now, we know that memorization is not the way to learn. So, learn new concepts, So, we provide students with skills to build a strong foundation in those mathematical concepts. The second concept of each book is designed to emphasize the non-computational concepts. Again, we are teaching the same concept in multiple ways so that the student will understand the skill. After their weekly lessons with their teacher, your child will complete 15 to 20 minutes of daily homework, practicing the skill that they learned in the classroom. Now, moving on to our English program, we cover 5 components of language arts. Those are reading comprehension, grammar, writing, spelling, and vocabulary. And just like in our math, our English curriculum is aligned to the Common Core and state standards, and it follows our non-repetitive model. So as you can see on the screen, we have matching here, sentence completion, and extended response questions. We have a variety of activities designed to increase focus and attention for the child. A great feature of our English program is that students will be tested weekly on spelling and their vocabulary words. Again, the student will receive 1 booklet each week. In the class, the teacher will teach the concept of the week, and then the student will complete the teaching packet. The student will practice what they learn from class by completing a packet each day for homework. Now, progress is very important to us. So we're constantly monitoring how the students are performing in class with the teacher. Now, one way we do this is by administering tests throughout the levels. So each level generally has about 2 midterm tests and a final exam. The student's performance on the test will determine if he gets to move forward or if he needs to go back and review. The teacher will reteach any concepts that they didn't understand before they move on to a new concept. Now, a great feature of our program is our progress book. This is a means of communication between the parents and the teacher. In class, the teacher will complete how the student did in class. They'll complete they'll complete a document, I should say, on how the students did in class, how they performed on their homework, and also if the student has any midterm tests or final exams coming up. They will give you some additional feedback to read on what happened in class. So make sure you read the progress book each week, and then you'll sign it. And if you have questions for the teacher, this is a great time to write a message to the teacher in the progress book. The teachers will read that and then respond to you. This is a great tool to keep you updated on what's happening with your child in the classroom. Now, our next subject is Abacus. Abacus is a one-of-a-kind class offered here at Best Brains. We use the Abacus tool, which is an ancient calculator designed to help with faster math calculations. Now, don't be confused. Abacus is not a math class. It's a critical thinking brain development class. Whereas in our traditional math program, this teaches your child math similar to what they're learning in school. Our Abacus class will help with brain development. It helps to develop the right side of the brain. This includes improvement in concentration, as well as memory power, and it improves their photographic memory. Now, let's watch a video of Abby demonstrating visualization. I'm sorry about that. Looks like we're having a little bit of issue with volume here. Technical issues. Hopefully I can get back to playing that video again. We'll move forward. So let's talk a little bit about GK. This program is also known as General Knowledge. It's an online research-based program available to students ages 7 and up. So each week, students are given about 15 to 20 questions related to a different topic. One week, the topic might be famous inventions. Another week, it might be airplanes, or maybe another week, it might be energy sources. Now, students use trusted sources, reference books, or encyclopedias to answer the question. Again, that's trusted internet resources to answer those questions. Now, there are three main purposes to our GK program. One is to teach your child how to find answers on their own and to develop their research skills, not just to run to mom and dad to get answers to those questions. Next, it's to expand their general knowledge with topics that they might not necessarily be exposed to in school. And finally, it's to improve their preparation for those state tests. Now, as you can see, our core program, math, English, Abacus, and GK, has a lot to offer. Let's see what else there is to offer. Now, if you're like me, before you try something new, you check the reviews. If you're like me, before you try something new, you check the reviews. I know I do. Well, here's what our current parents are saying about us. Take a minute to review these. Good stuff, right? Now let's check out our additional programs. I apologize. All right. So I've shared those our core programs with you, and here are additional programs. We have creative writing. This program allows students to create their own books. We have our test prep programs. There are a variety of them, and in the various states that you live in, as well as our COGAT program, which exposes students to test questions and it gets them ready with some test taking skills. We also have our summer camp. Coming up in just a week or so, we will have our summer camp. And so this program is exciting because it encourages your child throughout the summer to stay academically involved and also to have fun while learning. And finally, I'm excited about our public speaking program. This program is great because it gives students the skills to present and write speeches confidently. Now you may be thinking, well, how is Best Brains different than all of the other tutoring centers? Now, let me share what's so different about Best Brains from other learning centers. First, our teachers are state and board certified. We actually teach our students. We maintain a low student to teacher ratio, and we also offer 4 subjects under one roof, as well as other courses like public speaking, creative writing, the camps, and after school programs. We provide personalized feedback from our teachers throughout our weekly progress book. And finally, we don't require any contracts. And our pricing is very competitive compared to other learning centers. Now, if you like us, we'd ask that you would refer us to your family and friends, and therefore you will receive some amazing discounts. For the first family that joins, you'll receive $25 off for the month. And for each subsequent family that joins, you will receive $50 off for 1 month. Before I end, I'd like to open it up for a line of questions, and I'd like to invite Hannah Adis to join us to respond to the questions that you may have posted. Hi, Hannah. Looks like we might be having a little technical issue. One moment. I'm just going to check in with everybody. Okay, looks like we're having a little bit of a technical issue, so I am going to go ahead and try to address some of the questions that we have. Just give me one moment. Here we go. So I have a question here that asks, how does the placement exam work? So as I mentioned earlier, when your student first starts at the, or first inquires, or the parent first inquires about the program, the student is going to come in and take a diagnostic test. In this environment, the COVID-19 environment, where some of the centers are still working on opening and keeping a safe environment, students can now take that diagnostic test online. So the center director can send you the diagnostic test, and your child can sit and take that on their home computer or on a tablet. After the diagnostic test is completed, the center director will look at how the student has performed on that diagnostic test and decide where to place them within our curriculum. So in that case, that diagnostic test is the first step to getting your student registered in our program. Once that test is completed, the center director will place them within the program, and then you'll be provided with a list of all of the skills that your child will learn at their specific level. Once they have passed that level, every time the student goes to a new level, the center director will also provide you with, or their teacher will provide you with, a new level letter so that you always know what to expect from your child's learning at Best Friends. Thanks for that question. Another question I see here is, what are the qualifications for the teacher? Every teacher at Best Brains must be certified. We only work with certified teachers at our center. I also see a question here that says, how soon will my child improve and when can I expect to see these results? Listen, we know that kids learn differently. Every child learns differently. You can have two 9-year-olds, and one is learning at a faster pace in math, and maybe one is learning at a faster pace in reading. So sometimes it's a little difficult to say exactly you should see results by this point. However, after a few weeks, you will notice quickly that your child is picking up some amazing skills that you can attribute back to your investment into tutoring. We discussed a little bit about how to monitor your child's progress. So you can monitor your child's progress by, I'm sorry, rule notification. You can monitor your child's progress through that progress book, as well as at the center. Our teachers are accessible. So after class, if you'd like to speak with the teacher, or after a session, if you'd like to speak with the teacher about any of your concerns or any of your questions with your child, feel free to ask that center director if you can talk to the teacher, meet with the teacher, and we'll be more than happy to speak with you about any questions that you have. We discussed a little bit about the commitment to Best Brains. I see a question here that says, is there a commitment to Best Brains or like a contract? There is no commitment to Best Brains necessarily when it comes to contracts. We provide our services with students on a month-by-month basis. The only thing that we ask as center directors is that you give us at least a bit of notice before you leave the center, that you let us know at least a few days, about 15 days before, that you're not going to continue for the next month, or that you may be taking a break for just a short time.
Hey, Dr.
Hi,
Alice.
Hi there.
Apparently I had technical difficulties. I was answering questions. I was going great. And then I realized nobody could see me or hear me. So I hope everybody can hear me and see me now.
I can see you.
Okay, great. Okay. I believe you were answering some questions. So before I go into questions, I wanted just to reiterate, if it wasn't already mentioned, that we are offering some free classes to the parents who are attending this live stream, whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook. So if you are tuning in with us, please go ahead and fill out one of our get in touch forms for our open house that we're hosting right now, so that you will be eligible to win free classes for your children. We will be raffling off 5 sets of 4 weeks of classes for math and English. This is eligible for both Canada and the US. So if you are online, please go ahead and fill out those forms. We will be announcing winners within 24 hours. And I'm just going to go ahead, Dr. Ellis, I will touch on some of the questions that I already thought I answered. If you've answered them, just stop me, and then I will go ahead and skip to the next one.
I think I got through a few of them. One of the ones that I would think would be a good one is, what are the 3 best things Best Brains has to offer?
Awesome. I love that question. And again, if you are on with us, please, we love to hear from you. Go ahead and ask us questions either on Facebook or YouTube. We're on all of it right now. So in my perspective, there are obviously way more than just 3 things that Best Brains is awesome at. But I would say the 3 best qualities of Best Brains is, number 1, the quality of our teaching. That includes our teachers, that includes the staff at the center, that includes our center directors, and most importantly, of course, it includes our curriculum. So our curriculum was designed in a way to ensure that the students not only learn the concept at hand, but truly understand the foundation of that concept. So rather than just learning the way that we might have learned, you might have learned as parents, that 2 times 2 is 4, we're teaching students the foundation that 2 times 2 is truly 2 groups of 2, and those combined equal 4. That's something that, over time, students will be able to learn those foundational skills. And when they do take standardized tests, or when they're taking placement exams at a much older age, depending on how old your children are, that's when those types of that content is truly going to help them. I can, of course, give your child a set of flashcards. We can memorize together. But memorization doesn't do much for anybody. You as an adult, go ahead and memorize, let's say, a handbook to build something. You're not going to know how to troubleshoot it. Yes, you might be able to put that thing together, but at the end of the day, if somebody came in and asked you critical thinking questions, you wouldn't be able to do it. And our children, with what they're faced with now, aren't able to do it. So we're in here to make sure that the quality of our teachers, the quality of our curriculum is at its best. And then, of course, just the quality of our brand overall. We try to do as much as we can for the students and the families and the communities around us. So we offer additional programs, not just enrichment. We have public speaking classes, creative writing classes, just a very wide array of classes. We're introducing coding classes for all the kids who are into coding now. And with summer obviously alive and out there right now, we are offering virtual summer camp courses. And then for the lucky few who are in certain areas like Texas, there will be some on-site summer camps to relieve parents who do have to go back to work full-time and can no longer work from home. So with that being said, I just also want to make sure that all of our families are doing well. Your immediate family, your extended families are doing well in this time. We have been working tremendously hard to get you guys as much as we can during this time with our free workbooks, with our YouTube channel. We've been kicking it into high gear, and I hope you've been able to notice that. And if you have any more questions, please go ahead. I'm gonna cut myself short and go to the next question. So Dr. Ellis, were you able to answer the question about improvement in seeing the improvement in our child? When can we expect that?
Yes, I did, but you can add to it.
Perfect. I don't know what was said, so I will go ahead and give my version of it. But essentially, and I'll keep this one short, essentially, as parents, we understand and we should know by now that each and every one of our children are different. I have two young boys at home, one's 4, one's 2. I can see similarities, but more than anything else, I see the differences in them. And so we need to understand that I can't give you a blanket statement to say when you'll see improvement. We'll be able to hopefully see improvement as soon as possible within a couple of weeks. But if not, and if it takes a little bit more time, just know that your child is working at their best. We're working at our best, and we will definitely get there. GK program, in case it wasn't answered, starts at 7.5 years old. Students have to be able to read independently. They have to research independently. So we do ask that the student is 7.5. Sunnyvale, California is not yet open for classes. We did have a meeting internally about a week ago with all of the centers. Right now, Texas is the first area. Texas and Ohio are the first areas to be reopening. But as soon as those areas have reopened, we will notify all of our parents. If you are not yet a parent of ours, go ahead and send an email either to info@bestbrains.com, or feel free to reach out to your center locally. You can also fill out a form, which I will have. I will go ahead and add that form in here. I believe Monica is mentioning that she doesn't see the form. So we'll go ahead and add that form in here. Please make sure to fill that out for the raffle. We want people to win. We want you to know how wonderful Best Brains is. So we will go ahead and add that in there. I do have some questions on YouTube that I'll go through as well. So summer camp details, each and every location across the US and Canada has their own schedule based on that works for their center. So in terms of summer camp, what we are offering are academic classes such as coding, creative writing, public speaking. We also have science, but then we also have, and all of those are fun, don't get me wrong, they are academic based, but they are extremely fun. We custom tailored them to be virtual so that students could just switch things up. You know, we understand it's nice outside, things are changing. We want them to have fun with us. And then the second set of courses that we're offering are kind of a la carte fun things. So cooking classes, trivia and games, Abacus for fun. I know for some kids it's education. Oh my God, how is it fun? I can guarantee you, you put your child in one of my summer camp classes, they will love it. That is my spoken word to you. You try it out. You contact me if you don't believe me afterwards, but I guarantee that they will love it and they will ask you to go back to Best Brains. So let's see. I love the comments about Abacus is real and is amazing, because it absolutely is. We start our Abacus program as young as 5 years old, as long as the student is able to, you know, work independently, know their place value system, but we work with them hand in hand to ensure that they get those things in case they don't already have them. But Abacus is a great program. That is probably the #1 class that kids ask for at the center. And the reason for that is the dynamics of that class is different. It's a 1-hour session per week. Students work in larger group settings, and they're able to actually compete with one another. They play Abacus games with one another. they really have so much fun in Abacus that, you know, sometimes parents tend to focus, of course, on math and English. But it really does a disservice to your child if you don't also try that Abacus out, because Abacus is what's going to make them love coming to the center, so that you're not pulling them by the collar of their shirt and say, you have to go, you have to go. Kids love coming back to us. We give them the opportunity to try Abacus. They'll love it even more. So we definitely want you guys. We understand that the video didn't have sound. You can check it out on our YouTube page to watch Abby. He was a wonderful student. He was with us for a few years, but visualization that you saw in that video is taught within 4 weeks of class. So in a matter of a month, you'll not only be able to see your child work on an Abacus tool, but you'll also be able to literally see the gears in their mind working towards understanding how to do it visually. And I'm going to go off on a small tangent here, but I just want to explain the difference between mental math and visualization. So mental math is just being able to quickly on the fly, 4 plus 4 is 8, 10 plus 10 is 20. It's just kind of a memorized thing. Whereas visualization is actually a skill that we're teaching your children to be able to envision the Abacus tool in their mind and then complete those computations in their mind without needing the Abacus tool. So it really is great. I recommend you try it. Let's see. I have a question about individualized attention. Yes, we have very low student to teacher ratios to ensure that our certified teachers, and I'm going to keep plugging that one in there, our certified teachers are working hand in hand with each child individually. Because without that individualized attention, it becomes difficult for that student to build a bond with a teacher. And as an educator, we understand, or myself, Dr. Alice, Doctor of Education, we understand very well that students learn better and they grow more if they have a relationship with the people that are teaching them. And that's why we really, as parents as well, we need to start learning better ways to accommodate our children and help with their academics, because, you know, as an institution, we can do the most that we can, but you need to also be in partnership with us to make sure that the education continues at home, that 15 minutes of homework gets done on a daily basis. We always get that question, well, you know, he wanted to do more today. Can he do more in a day? Absolutely, off and on, here and there. If you wanted to do an extra packet or an extra assignment, that's fine. But as a rule of thumb, we need to build routine within our children's lives, whether that's when they eat, whether that's how they sleep, when they do their homework is essential and is crucial. So we need to make sure that they are doing their homework on a daily basis for 15 minutes per subject, so that we can ensure that that growth happens over time. Yes.
I see one question. Did someone ask, where can they get the forms?
Oh, absolutely. I am going to go ahead and add it in here. I was just trying to get through all of my questions.
Oh, sorry.
But I will multitask for all of you and show you that I am being my best just for you. So I will go ahead and share a link that they can use. And then I did see a question on there about the difference between Best Brains and QnA. So I think Dr. Alice did a wonderful job in explaining who Best Brains is and what we are. And I'm going to just reiterate those points. As an organization, as an institution, and just me, myself personally, I don't necessarily like to combat with any other business. I think that, you know, we are very blessed that there is plenty of room for all of us to be here. So I'm going to reiterate the points that make us stand out against everybody else in general, which is number one, again, certified teachers, qualified instructors who actually teach your children. They're not waiting for somebody to raise their hand. They are not roaming around a classroom. They are sitting in front of your child. Maybe now, so not so much, a little bit further. We are practicing our social distancing as best as we can. So we have the best certified teachers. We have the best curriculum that is non-repetitive. We teach the same concept in as many different ways as possible. So if your child is learning I'm going to keep going back to my same example, 2 plus 2. He or she's not just going to see the basic number 2 plus 2. They're going to see it on a number line. They're going to see it with manipulatives and with pictures. They're going to see it in word problems. And yes, we start our word problems as young as 5 years old. So in one of our earliest levels, we are starting our word problems to ensure that those students are learning those skills at a young age. So again, certified teachers, amazing curriculum, standard-based. We cover everything that your child should know, and we cover it within a 6-month time period. School is generally 9 to 10 months. Each of our levels lasts 6 months. We do not have any long-term contracts with our enrichment program. You can absolutely go ahead, try us out for a month. If it isn't for you, if it doesn't work for you, if you realize you're moving to Idaho and there's no amazing Best Brains in Idaho, then you can go ahead and cancel as long as you give appropriate notice. So we do our best to truly make ourselves accessible to parents all across the board, make it as easy as possible for you guys to enroll, as well as make it easy for your children to want to learn with us. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw in this form. Let's see. There's a form. It says get started. When you go on there, if you can just make sure that you put Facebook when you choose how did you hear about us, that will make sure that we kind of get in there and we can add you into our raffle. And again, within 24 hours, we will be posting on our main Best Brains INC page. We will let everybody know who will be awarded those free classes. Somebody will reach out to you as well. And as to some more questions, let's see, I have a couple of questions here about summer camp, virtual summer camp. So to find out more information about summer camp, you will have to contact your local center. If you want to go ahead and fill out that info request form that I just submitted through Facebook and YouTube, we can also reach out to you. I believe there's a comment section. And if you just want to say that you want more information about summer camp, we will have somebody reach out to you specifically, either from a local center or from our corporate head office in Chicago. So we will do our best to get you that information, but it does vary from location to location in terms of when they're offering it and how frequently they will be offering those classes. And then I think this is one of our last few questions. Will there also be, or will it always be virtual sessions? So right now, and until COVID-19 really happened, as an organization, we really prided ourselves on being in touch, in person with our students. We never in a million years could have foreseen the circumstance that we are in now. So with that being said, we are definitely interested in moving forward with a hybrid model where, you know, if you are interested to come into a local center, whether it's today or in 6 months, you can do that. Or you can still register to have classes online that are done remotely. You would either have material picked, you can pick up material if you're in an area where there is a Best Brains, or centers can ship out material as well. So we will be offering in class, hopefully soon, depending on where you live, and in online sessions as well. I'm just going to go back to my Facebook, see if I missed anything. Dr. Alice, if you've noticed anything, please let me know.
I don't see any additional questions.
Perfect. So I'm going to just reiterate, at least from my point, one last time, that we are here for you guys. Anything that you need, regardless of if it's actually signing up for a class, or if you just have questions and you want to reach out to somebody who can help make recommendations for you, for your child, we are here to help in any which way that we can. When the company first started, the goal was to reach people that were not accessible in the past, you know, give education in a broader manner, you know, not a robotic process, and a process that truly helps each and every child. At the end of the day, and I tell this to every parent I meet, to every franchisee I speak with, to every employee that is employed with Best Brains, at the end of the day, the number one most important thing is our student. And our student at the end of the day is our customer. Everybody thinks, well, my parents are my customers. You might be paying for the classes, but your child is what is important to me, because I want to make sure that they truly enjoy what they're doing, and they're learning while they're enjoying. So please understand that we are here for you, for your community. Anything that you need, you reach out to us via Facebook, info@bestbrains.com. You call our 1-800 number. We will be here for you in any capacity that you need. We understand that times are, to say the least, strange. And we want to help bring normalcy back to people's lives. So if you haven't had an opportunity yet, please, if nothing else, go ahead and download our free workbooks. Your students will love them. They're free. You have to do nothing except for press print. If you don't have a printer, contact your local center and ask them to print them out for you if that's an option. Do the best. We want to do the best for you that we can. So please fill out the get in touch form that I had sent out to everybody via Facebook as well as YouTube. Within 24 hours, we will be announcing those winners. And then from my perspective, Dr. Alice, I just want to thank you so much for having me on, answering the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Again, as Hannah said, if you have additional questions, go ahead and jot down our number, 800-817-1025, or send us an email at info@bestbrains.com. Again, it was a pleasure joining you here today. Thank you very much.